So Robbie, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, to be honest with you, I probably won't be working with you because I'm probably going to be your manager. Just saying. Second off, this place is out in the suburbs. I hate commutes and I hate listening to podcasts. So I'm probably going to quit in a year or two. I'm just using this for the experience. Now, it would be wonderful if we could answer questions truthfully. The problem is we can't, especially if you enjoy money and getting paychecks every 2 weeks. You can't answer every question the way you would like to answer them. You have to tell them what they want to hear. Now, that's not the truth for every single question, but for this question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? It is 100% my recommendation to not tell the truth. Now, I'm not saying lie. I'm just saying don't tell the truth. Now, let me explain. In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to answer the question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? In my humble opinion, there's only one answer to this question. Yes, one answer to this question, and any other answer to this question is probably wrong. The first part to understand about this question is that it's a trap question. And what I mean by that is that how you answer it can never get you the job. It can only disqualify you from getting the job. Now let me explain. Let's say you answer that question and say, in 5 years, I want to become a manager. Sounds like a reasonable response, right? The problem is if the person interviewing you doesn't want you to become a manager, you are immediately disqualified. Now, why would someone in their right mind not want someone to grow and become a manager? Well, there are several reasons. One is maybe they've tried to become a manager in the past and the company didn't hire them to do that. So why would they hire someone that could potentially become a manager and potentially become their boss? Right? It doesn't make much sense for them to hire someone, so they're going to be very selfish with the answers that they want to hear. What if you say something like, well, I know this is an IT position, but I would love to learn marketing in the next 5 years. I think marketing is a big industry and something that I can help with in the long term. Now, that seems like a great answer to the question, but what you're signaling to the interviewer is that you will potentially want to get out of the group as soon as possible. Now, why would an interviewer hire someone if they are interested in potentially getting out of your group? That you're hiring someone to make them better, make their team better, make their group better, and long term, they actually really don't care about your growth. I'm sorry, that's probably the truth for many interviewers. So anytime you signal something that doesn't align with their vision, then that's going to immediately disqualify you. So you have to be very careful with it. Where they see you in 5 years has to align with where you see yourself in 5 years. If those two things don't align, then there's bad things going to happen in this interview process and you're probably not going to move on. So how do we answer this question? Well, the key to answering this question is not to tell the truth. Again, I'm not saying lie. I'm just saying you can't 100% tell the truth. You have to tell them what they want to hear. You have to satisfy them with your answer. And the goal is to get them to ask the next question immediately. This interview question cannot become a conversation about your life. It's not, because the more you talk about where you see yourself in 5 years, the more holes go into your story and the less likely you are to move on to the next level. So here's how I answer that question. What's important for me is happiness and growth in my career. So if I'm happy with my career, I'm learning from my manager, I'm learning from my coworkers, it's a great place to work, then I'm really happy. It's not about the job title, but I don't know what job title I'm going to have in 5 years, and honestly, I don't think it's that important. As long as I'm growing in my career, I'm happy with where I am, I'm happy with my managers, and I'm happy with the company, and I'm growing and I'm learning. That's really what's important for me, because nowadays things change so fast that I want to make sure that I am growing while the company grows. That's it. That's my answer. It sounds like a bullshit answer. You are 80% correct. It is a BS answer because the interview question is BS to begin with. Now, I actually think it's a good question for an interviewer to ask. It's a good question for them because they get to disqualify you and they want to make sure they hire the right person. But again, they're not asking the question for the right reasons, and it's a trap question. So to summarize, when you answer this question, understand it's a trap question. Don't tell the truth and answer it very briefly. Satisfy them as much as you can and then move on to the next question, because the more you talk, the less likely you are to get away with your answer.